Hello there, Pisces. Welcome to your monthly forecast. This is for the month of August, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of energy and information comes through for you. Before we get into the forecast, however, I'd like to address some of the questions and comments that many of you posted last month. As you may know, that I changed up the format just to see how it would work last month, and I tried to do a more concise version of this. You let me know loud and clear that you really want to see the cards, so I'm going to bring that back. And I'm also going to bring it back to its normal length, which it sits somewhere between 20 minutes and 30 minutes, depending on how much information comes through. So thank you so much for letting me know what you like, and also for letting me try new things. That's how I evolved the current format. I started off with just a Celtic cross. I added in health, wealth, love, and destiny. I added channeled information. I added a catalyst. So I kind of organically grew it to what it is today. So sometimes I try to add or remove elements, and I appreciated your feedback and letting me know what matters. I was very happy to hear that you are enjoying my intuitive development series. I'm going to continue to work on that. I have a crystal video that I'm planning on working on, as well as a Q&A. So I will let you know when I get closer to releasing both of those, especially the Q&A, since I'll be getting the questions from you. And I would also like to start reviewing card decks. This was inspired by all of the sort of almost daily comments saying, please bring back the cards. So not only am I bringing back the cards, but I think I might do some separate videos just on the type of decks that I use, which ones I suggest, etc. So stay tuned for all of that. I'll be releasing more information in the weeks and months to come. Now, if you like all of the changes that are going on right now, and also me reverting back to this slightly more time-sensitive format, which usually requires double or triple the amount of time what you see here for editing and whatnot, then this is a great time for you to support the channel. Liking, subscribing, and sharing is one way, but you can also donate if you'd like. And if you look below the video, there'll be 3 links. One is to schedule an appointment, one is to donate, one is to connect on social media. Any or all of those are a really good way to help keep this healthy, and I'll go into that more at the end of the video. All right, let's now look at the channeled information for this month. Your message this month is to see the world or the situation that you're involved in right now through the lens of another person. And this is going to help you with your empathy skills. Many of you, like me, already kind of have that by default, but there may be some situations that pop up this month where either because of your own emotional sort of stress that you're going through, or because of all the responsibilities that you might be carrying, you may not automatically go to that gift or skill that you have. So I really want you to try to understand things from other people's perspective. This will help you not necessarily go to that point where you're kind of losing your temper or losing your perspective on things. So this month, really focus on your active listening, on dropping any assumptions, and just taking your time to make decisions. This is really going to suit you in the long run. And again, even if it's a natural skill that you have, you may be tested a little bit this month, so it never hurts to have that nudge. Let's go ahead now and see what additional insights the cards have, and we'll take it from there. Let me turn the camera down now, and just a reminder that at this point I usually remain quiet. I'll start speaking again after I've laid out the Celtic cross, and we'll take it from there. So in addition to everything that's in front of us here, I like to pull a catalyst card. For me, that's a connective thread. It also gives insight into how to either maximize the energy of the month or avoid any potential pitfalls. Your catalyst this month is the oyster, and I like this because what it's saying is be open for hidden gems and hidden opportunities. There may be something right on the horizon or right around you, and you have to be sort of awake, aware, and open to the hints and the signals that are going on around you. So this could be someone who, for instance, is interested in dating you. They may be dropping hints, but you're not really picking up on it. There could be a job opening, but unless you're doing the research, you might miss the posting. There could also be something that you could be doing to maximize your money or wealth opportunities, and you have to sort of do a little bit of digging because Things like this aren't always easy to find. So I want you just to be open and think there could be a great opportunity that's ready for the taking this month, but you have to be open and receptive. So as you're kind of practicing the listening skills this month as a part of the channeled energy, perhaps that will help you too. Someone may open up and let you know about something that you wouldn't have otherwise learned about had you not practiced just that active listening and letting them reveal. All right, let's look at each card now, and this will give us a more in-depth view of what's going on. I'm going to pull the two center ones right now so that you can see them and see the interplay between them. The center card here is the Two of Pentacles, and for me, the Two of Pentacles speaks to achieving balance in your life. Of course, it's talking about finances, but it can also be work-life balance and also your traveling habits. All of these things could be tugging and pulling at your ability to be happy and feel centered. So it's not surprising here that on top of that we have the Tower. What's nice about the Tower in this particular position is that it is muting or telling you to change the behaviors here. It's not necessarily saying you're going to have a tough time. It's saying it's time now to reevaluate this so that you can eventually avoid this in another position here in the spread. So again, it all depends on where the cards fall and kind of what that meaning means. So I see necessary changes to balance in your life, whether it's work, your personal life, travel, or all three. Now is the time to make the change. Now, as I look at deep past, recent past, crowning, and near future, there's an interesting story that's being told. I'll pull the camera down for a second so you can see it, and then I want to pull each card up. So what I'm seeing here is an issue kind of surrounding control. In the deep past, we have justice, about doing what's right. In the recent past, Queen of Rods reversed, feeling that there's maybe only one way to get something done. Also kind of emphasized with the Ace of Rods, and then the Chariot. So let's look at each one and I'll unpackage it for you. I like that you have justice in the deep past. This is showing me that as you enter into this month, you've done some work to know what's important. Many of you have done your homework. When I see this, this is a card of education. It's a card of power. It's a card of knowing what's right and wrong from not just a moral but a legal perspective, and following through on your obligations. All of these things are going to be essential this month, and I would say always, but don't be so stuck in kind of like black and white views of what can be done that you miss a way to solve a problem. Or when you have like a conflict negotiation, for instance, you are going to have to try to find a middle ground. It can't just be my way or the highway. So this month, it's going to be very important for you, and possibly if you're the one that's open-minded but the other person isn't, for the other person to sort of open up. And what you want to try to do is listen. Again, I think that's why we had that in your channeled information. Listen to their point of view. And then when they're finished talking, empathize with what they said. Say, wow, this seems like you're really passionate about it. I think I understand what you're saying. Did you say this and this? And is this the reason that you're feeling this way? Basically mirror back and let them know that you actually understood it and you respect their point of view. Then maybe in the form of a question, or perhaps as a form of like 2 or 3 options, you could say, I have some ideas. This is what we're supposed to do, but we could also explore this and this. We just have to do some work on this. Then you're opening up the opportunities in front of you. This can work in personal relationships, in business, really anywhere in life. So you have to kind of move from the rigid 1 or 2 ways to do something to, well, let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Once you do that, if we take your crowning card and reverse it, notice how it's sort of fruitful, it's growing, it's not stuck, it's not stunted. So this is really what you're trying to achieve, is the ability for both sides to have new ideas, to kind of feel like they're blossoming, just like this wand here or this tree sort of sapling that's coming through. And that's really it. So I want you to know that there is power and strength in being open. And I really like that illustration here, that it's not just a dead piece of wood here. This is about growth. And I think that by finding a common ground, by taking those 2 lenses and kind of making that Venn diagram, this is where you're going to have a lot of power and a lot of opportunity. And if you had an idea, it's only going to be enriched by perhaps this additional perspective. Now, the other thing that's going to be challenging this month is finding a way to have both sides manage their ends of the bargain, but also feel like they're still in control. You can sometimes really only have one person making final decisions, but I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a dance this month. So you'll take some responsibility, the other person will take some responsibility. So again, whether this is a partnership or a business relationship or just you and your family, something's going on this month where there's a little bit of a dance of responsibility. And I think it's possible for both sides to achieve something that doesn't feel like a compromise, that feels like a mutually inclusive option where both sides are winning. So that's the challenge this month. I think you can do it, but it is going to take active listening, empathy, understanding, and mirroring back what you have received to make sure that you understand, because they'll correct you if it's not the case. It's a great time to continue with that research. So we saw the Justice card in the Deep Pass. Whenever I see the Hermit card, this is also indicating that there might be some more work to do. However, in your ego position, especially when it's reversed, it's saying you might want to vet out some of what your assumptions are. Talk to a friend, talk to a counselor, talk to a mentor. And whatever's going on in your life, you have great insights. The Hermit wouldn't show up if you weren't, intelligent and thoughtful and really kind of careful about how you're approaching things. But as we look at what's in the Environment card, we have the Fool card. He was reversed, but with the Fool card reversed, you really want to focus on being a little bit more free. And I feel like there's this tug of war between wanting to sort of stay private and keep thoughts and ideas to yourself, and then having to be a little bit more open, letting things sort of sometimes letting the other side win, even if you know that you might have to come back and fix something. Because if you think about how it feels to work for someone who is always trying to control every single element, it doesn't feel like they trust you, and it doesn't feel like you can offer input. So yes, there may be moments where you could do it better, or your way may be the more efficient way, but it's also good to see what other things might come of a collaboration. So this isn't just about work. If you think of friendships and partnerships, the same thing happens. So this month, have a little bit more fun, let go a little bit of the control, and do some things that will allow you to feel free. When you let go of the need to control things in your life, whether it's, again, what your parents are doing, what your sibling is doing, what a coworker is doing, when you just sort of let them be and be there for them in the way that they need, suddenly your energy is opened up and you're not worried all the time about why they're not listening to you or what's going on. So let there be some freedom in allowing people to find their own path. And one tip that's really effective when it comes to kind of figuring out what they need is ask them, say, would you like me to listen, or are you looking for input? I can do either. I just need to know how to show up for you. I know it sounds kind of like what a therapist would say, but I've tried it before in my real life and it works really well. I'll just say, do you just need me to listen? I'm good at that. And that's how you can kind of say it in everyday speak. Or just say, do you want advice? I'm not sure what you're looking for. That's how you can kind of put it out there and then let them lead the way on that. Okay? You can also say, I have an idea. Do you want to hear it, or do you want to try that first? Lots of things to do here. Okay, looking again at money. We have the Four of Pentacles here. I'm going to turn it upright just so you can see the illustration, and then I'll show that it's reversed. This center pentacle here, or coin, always covers the heart space. For me, there are two things that you can unpackage with that. The first is, how are you feeling about your money? It's close to the heart space. Are you feeling okay? Are you worried? Your worry can, in a way that you don't intend, sort of kind of pull in self-fulfilling prophecies that things might not work out. So it's better to observe that maybe things aren't the way you want them, and then try to fix them and think, what can I do to improve them? Rather than to just think it's bad and it's going to stay bad. So I want you to try to go to either asking questions on how to improve, or think I'm going to get better at this, and do the work to make that happen. So open up a little bit and just think, it's okay. It may not have been the way I wanted it, but I can do better. The other piece is just irrational fear about money. We all worry, but try to worry a little bit less this month. And work on self-confidence. I think I've talked in almost every sign about this month, but how you feel about yourself is completely related to the opportunities that you pull in. It's also related to what people pay you, how they treat you. So the more you respect yourself, the more you treat yourself with kindness and honor yourself, the more other people do the same. As we look at your outcome card, something I've seen in a few signs here, we have the Six of Cups. And this is a card that shows possibly a reunion, a celebration, or more importantly, and I think more accurately for you, again, looking at your environment card where we have the Fool, this is a more elevated version of that, which is to get back to what it felt like when you were kids. That's why we see children there. Not letting things weigh too heavily upon you. Finding a way to really focus on friendship rather than competition. Remember back when you were in like the 3rd grade or the 5th grade, or you're like 10 years old, having a best friend, it really mattered and you really cared about them and you weren't caught up in sort of like trying to compete with them and everything. It was just sort of about sharing things that you loved in your life. Getting back to that place with adults is important too. So have fun, don't hold grudges, just be a little bit more, I guess, light and airy about how you're with someone. And that energy, that playfulness is going to go a long way. So in existing relationships where maybe it's, you've been together for a decade or it feels like a decade, this is your chance to interject a little bit of irreverence and fun into the relationship. Spontaneity, just picking up the phone and saying, let's go out tonight. And even if you have a family, making sure that you make a date night or you do a family night and you rent a movie or something like that and watch it together. Do something fun and unexpected. Maybe it's on a Wednesday instead of a weekend. Do something out of the blue that just feels fun, and it's going to get everybody remembering why they liked each other and getting each individual out of their zones of stress that they might be in. Okay? So let's go ahead now. Speaking of lenses, I want to see this from a broader perspective, and then we'll review everything at the end to see how it looks after we know a little bit more. So we're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny next. All right, we'll start off with your health card. Health, of course, includes mind, body, and spirit. Your message for health this month is to shine. I really like this. Couple of things here. It was reversed, but let me show it upright just so you can see the energy of this. There are 3 messages that I am receiving here. The first is quite simply to be yourself. To, just like the star card would indicate, not hold back, not hide aspects of your personality. It's kind of like a coming out card. So whatever it is that you might be holding back on, this is saying unapologetically let yourself be you. And let other people either accept it or reject it for what it's worth. The other thing is to move your body through dance, through exercise, or any sort of method, yoga. I just want you to get into, or sports as well, actually, but move it so that the energy is going to move through it as well. And the third is to change your environment. When I see shine, I'm thinking of the sun. So I want you to get outside and allow for that shift in environment to also shift your energy. So if you see what we're doing here, it's first in your mind. You're allowing for a change to happen. You're going to be who you are. Then through your body, you're going to move. You're going to move the energy in your body. Then you're physically going to move your body to another space, which pulls in new stimuli and new energy as well. This is going to let your auras sort of completely clear out and your chakras open up. So give it a try, see if it works for you. Let's look now at wealth. For me, wealth is not just about money. It's about your relationship with self-worth, your spending habits, and then ultimately how money reacts to those 2 things. Let's see what the message is about wealth. And we have the skills card, which is showing me, again, another reversal on this, that for some of you, you may not feel comfortable or confident in all of the information that you have. So this is a chance for you to learn more. So the closest equivalent in tarot would be like the 8 of Pentacles with this. Simply put, this is your chance to learn more, to lean on other people that might already know more, or simply to practice something that you want to get better at. So when it comes to money, it's maybe getting better at saving, asking about how to invest, reading up on different strategies for that. And that's really what you need to do. It's basically an informational type month where you're going to immerse yourself. Looking now at relationships, a reminder that as I look at this, it's going to be not just love relationships, but other types of intimate relationships like friendships, family, etc. Let's see what the message is for love. For love this month, we have, I choose to learn through love. This is an interesting card because I think it partially explains the point, but we need to add to it a little bit. I agree with the message, I choose to learn through love. I would change it though to say, I choose to learn through loving myself. Because once you're at a place where you accept yourself, you love yourself, and you're ready to receive love, then it's of the highest order, and there's a lot less karma attached to it. When you simply learn through the act of loving or receiving love, but you don't really try to fix what's going on internally, then you might have karmic baggage that starts to come in. You could have people testing things like, do you really love yourself? And then you could have people that may not respect you or may not respect themselves, and you're going to teach each other the lessons of self-respect. So once you kind of work through the things like, I respect myself, I'm happy with myself, and I'm continuing to work to be healthy and learn as much as I can, all of a sudden you are going to pull in other people with similar habits. So the higher you go, the higher these people will go as well. I would also say I choose to learn through unconditional love. So I think that this is halfway there, and that's probably why it came through. Add the word unconditional love, and then also loving myself. Those two things will complete this phrase in a way that is going to help you avoid having karmic baggage. All right, let's take a look now at your destiny card, knowing that destiny includes your current trajectory, what's coming through, and it's your chance to exercise free will, at least in the way this spread is laid out. So let's see what you can do about your future here. It's to have faith. And faith is not just faith in God. Faith is faith in yourself. Interestingly enough, it's usually the latter that is harder for some people to believe in. And I really want you to work on trusting your instincts, believing in yourself, and believing that you have the ability to create whatever you want in your life. It's really important, and it's absolutely true. You have to believe that you have that ability, and then manifestation is a reality. So let's go ahead now and summarize everything with these new sort of perspectives that we just gained here. Starting again with the channeled information. Remember to see the situation through another person's perspective, to add another lens so that you'll be more empowered. You have that natural empathy, but there may be some issues this month that test it. Honestly, I think it's more about active listening this month, because as we look at your catalyst, this is where we see that there might be some sort of a hidden opportunity that reveals itself, but only once you've either gained the trust of someone or you've opened yourself up so that you see things in a different perspective. As we turn the camera down to look at the cards here, let me go through it one more time. The Tower is basically telling you, as we look at the Two of Pentacles, that it's time to achieve greater balance within your life. So do what you can to achieve that balance. Know that the actions that you take now will help avoid more of an abrupt shift that happens in the future. Some of you may decide to move to save money, because this card does show a shift in job, a shift in employment, or living situation. So if that happens, know that that's also to kind of support you and push you into a better place. We talked at pretty good length about this, these four cards here: Justice, Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands, and the Chariot. It's good to know what's right and wrong, but it's also important for you to look at new ways to evolve things. So when it comes to possibly policies in a company, this could be a way of opening up your mind to a better way to do business, still working within the confines of what is right or what's expected, but broadening the perspective a little bit and maybe then changing policy. And that's where you might get upper management involved, for instance. In the context of your life, this is opening up your mind so that people may see you as more approachable. And in a relationship, this could help bring in new love. And this could help you find a way to see someone that you may not normally associate as quote unquote your type. But it's important that both of you have this feeling that there's something worth fighting for if that's the case. But either way, I don't want to use the word compromise. I really see this as a potential overlap of common interests this month. So whether it's love, work, or some other activity, you're going to have a chance to find a new common ground that could perhaps change old routines or old customs, and that's a great change agent moment. That's why we have the Tower at the center. A gentle push for you to come out of your shell a little bit, to be a little bit more open with risk this month, to let go of fears about money, and to try to have a little bit more fun and basically more sort of ephemeral experiences. Allow things to come and go without holding on to them so much or for so long. As we expand the forecast, be yourself. Let others see your true colors. Don't be afraid to show that part of yourself. Stretch, move, do activities as well. Get outside and change the environment. Looking at wealth, gain the skills that you need to feel comfortable and confident. Practice them as well. When it comes to all of your relationships this month, remember that unconditional love and loving yourself is the most important thing. This will be the lesson that will kind of end all other lessons, and you're going to then be at a point where you can kind of see things through the lens of love. Have faith in yourself. If you can't do that, then none of this other stuff matters. You have to love yourself and have faith in yourself for the world to do the same. So that brings our monthly reading to a close. I hope it gave you the insight, the courage, and the feeling of self-confidence to kind of work through this month. There's a lot of great opportunities for you, and we'll touch on that again at the end here. I also want to just let you know, if you ever need to talk about something big going on in your life, a change of job, change of relationship, etc., I'm here for you. You can check out my rates and availability by clicking on that first link, and you can book an appointment if that works for you. If you just want to say thanks, because I really do put a lot of TLC into this. I don't think you guys see the behind the scenes work, but it takes kind of triple to quadruple the amount of time of the video to get it ready. So if you like what you see here, consider giving back. As little as $1 can make a really big impact, and it helps me set aside the time in my schedule. Otherwise, I'm seeing clients, and I can see fewer clients and do more videos if I have more support. If you can't do that or just want to support me in a different way, liking, subscribing, and sharing the video is a good start. You can also click on that third link and join me across social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and of course I'm here. So connecting on all of those mediums is going to help quite a bit. And that's really it for this month, but I like to end on a note of gratitude. I want to say thank you, because every month you guys show up and you work on yourselves. You get stronger, you learn more about not just your intuitive gifts, but how to be with yourself and be with other people. That's going to make this planet a brighter place. We have a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and the brighter we can be inside and out, the easier it's going to be for this planet to continue, and for peace eventually to kind of come back in and shine again. So keep working on yourself. This month, I want you to also see yourself kind of like this oyster. You don't know really what beautiful value you have inside and what a gift you have to share with the world. You got to share it. And I think that's what these two cards are showing. I get a feel for the fact that there's a beautiful pearl inside, but not everyone else knows that. So I want you to embrace this idea that there's a lot worth sharing and cherishing within you. And have faith and cherish that, okay? Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, love yourselves, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.